let's kiss. No, it's alright, I'm not getting cheeky. If you don't know, K.I.S. stands for Keep It Simple Stupid. It's okay though, I'm not here to offend, only to help. It's a slightly impolite way of getting you to keep your photography simple, sparse and uncomplicated. Now there's two ways to keep it simple in photography, and luckily both will help you improve in leaps and bounds. The first therefore is simple gear wise. Now hands up if you're the type of photographer who takes every single camera, every single lens and every accessory with you on every shoot. Have you got your hands up? I haven't. I know you want to cover yourself for every possibility, unexpected or not. If you don't bring every piece of equipment, then chances are it will be the one thing you need for that once in a lifetime shot. However, it could be hindering you rather than helping. If your bag contains every lens under the sun and more accessories than you can shake a stick at, then it must weigh a ton. Think of your poor back. More importantly, think about the weight on your mind. Your photographer's eye is probably considering all these potential pieces of equipment as you scan a scene, and that's just too much. Wide angle views, telephoto views, standard views, and maybe even ultra wide. Oh, too much. That's a lot to digest as you consider a composition. Too much really, and it can easily leave you confused and finding nothing in the end. Sound familiar? Now instead, if you kept it simple, perhaps with just one lens, your mind and vision is already engaged in that field of view. There's perhaps less possibilities overall, but often more chances. If your mind's eye is only considering wide angles, then you're more likely to spot these wide angle potentials. Basically, you can't do everything at once, and you may think you are shooting it all, covering everything out there, every view and every angle, but you're probably not. I'd bet on it. So perhaps forget the telephoto lens and telephoto views, leave those for another day. If you're carrying that lens as well as a wide angle kit, chances are you're not going to be walking as far anyway because of the weight, so you are missing shots. So keep things simple. It's a simple approach, but one that works. Work with the limitations. You'll enjoy the experience more too. Now the other keep it simple, stupid K.I.S. approach is with your composition. Tie this in with a simple gear setup and you're onto a guaranteed winner. Simple compositions work the best. Fact. Any location, any subject, any situation. It's the simple views that work the most effectively in photography. If you try and fill your frame with a dozen elements and distractions, your intended viewer will be left feeling dizzy, confused, and hoping they can move on to the next image very quickly. Trust me, the best compositions are considered, allowing for elements that you include, but also what you exclude, what you leave out. It's just as important as what you leave in, and the less you leave in, the better. Single subjects with space, single subjects with space and without distractions. That's what you're aiming for. The more you include, the less the main subject takes center stage. That's just common sense. So using a simple kit, shooting with simple compositions, and you can go with that by adding another element, the square format. No, I'm not going to do that this time. A square format works brilliantly with this approach. A square format is simple. A square format has less room than the rectangle, so less room to clutter. It's a format all about simplicity, balance and calm. And that's what you need to consider. Oh, and this format needs to be considered at the time of shooting, not later. Compose ready for the crop. Don't think about the crop later. If you do, you may find there's not enough room to make an effective crop, and that's never going to work. So use the grid lines on your camera's LCD screen to help you divide the rectangular frame into a square, either framing to one side or framing in the center, ready to cut the strips off either side. You may even need to use a slightly wider focal length than normal, just so you're not cramming everything in too tight. Think space, think negative space even. Now, negative space is also a good thing, despite its name. Negative. Negative space allows a main subject to breathe. It creates space by filling it up, if that makes sense. it fills the frame with emptiness. Simplicity. We want to keep things simple. Less is more or less. So if you can get into the habit of not filling the frame with junk, not just choosing the widest lens and getting everything in, but instead only including elements that deserve to be there, your images will improve tenfold this way. Now, talking of removing things, this does include removing the colour too, if it suits. Black and white is all about stripping things back, so use black and white to simplify your scene too. There's less to think about, no bold colours, no oversaturation, just simple shades of grey. Use shadows to your advantage or use highlights for high key effects, but it's still about keeping things simple. However, simple images can be colourful too, as long as they are, well, simple. You don't always have to use all the colours in the spectrum. Two contrasting colours on opposite sides of the colour wheel make for effective, simple images, as do harmonious colours, colours with similar tones. It's just about taking what is there and making it work in your image. So strip things back, keep it simple, and learn to make your images as uncomplicated as you can. Simple. I'm telling you, you can kiss and thank me later. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I don't do any sponsorship. I don't try to flog you websites or particular brands or training platforms. I've turned them all down as it's just not my thing. I don't even try to wring every last penny out of you with affiliate links either. Again, just not my bag. However, if you do want to support this channel, then do check out my E6 subscription. It's where I have most of my content, including exclusive videos. Sorry YouTube. There's videos that probably wouldn't work on YouTube, but just as fun and full of inspiration. Plus my e-guides, which are like photography magazine articles. In fact, that's exactly what they are. See, I spent my photography career writing for photography magazines, but now I write them for my E6 subscription. Plus there's ebooks, a podcast, you get image reviews and discount of my online courses and workshops. Basically, it's a culmination of my 25 years working as a photographer. All my experience has been built into creating this subscription package, and at $29.99 a year, it's a bargain. Often imitated, but still the original and the best. Now go away, and I'll see you on the next one.
Jump up high, this push your mind. Jump up high, this push your mind. Jump up high, this push your mind. Jump up, push your mind. Jump up high, this push your mind. Jump up high, this push your mind. Jump up high, this.